There she is. All right. So let's jump into it. I'm going to share my screen here. Mhm. Maybe. There she goes. All right. So I actually made today's presentation in Canva, which is an amazing resource that I will do a full tutorial on towards the end of the session. Has anyone used Canva before?
No.
Yes, I have.
Yes. Yeah. Great. Some yes, some no. I am a firm believer in Canva, and it's a super useful tool. So I used it today. So social media is definitely a big buzzword right now, and how to use it depends on every organization, but it is such a useful and vital tool in getting yourself out there. I've helped a lot of artists who, Bill, like you, I've helped some writers and producers, directors, people who want to go more into the coaching route. Carly, I know that that's something on your radar. And the biggest question is, how do you connect your services to the consumer who needs them? And in today's world and the digital social media landscape, that really is through social media channels. And it's really daunting because there are so many different platforms, and where do you even begin? So my suggestion is to start with Facebook. So even if your target audience isn't necessarily the most active on Facebook, I would highly suggest starting with a Facebook business page for multiple reasons. Now, when I say maybe your audience isn't a Facebook demographic, Facebook is most popular with 35 to 55, mostly women, and platforms like Instagram and TikTok are really reaching those younger crowds of 18, even younger, to 34. The great thing, though, is that Facebook, or now Meta, also owns Instagram. And so because of that connection, you're able to, using a Facebook business page, you can also manage an Instagram account. So by creating a Facebook business page, you're making the connection to two platforms in almost a 2-for-1 strategy. And it also allows you to schedule posts in advance on both of those platforms, which is a really great tool. And to start, when you're creating any social media channel, what you really need to do is what you need to do for any brand or any business or any endeavor. And that is to make your mission statement. What are you doing? Who are you? Why are you doing this work? What is the goal of it? What's your mission? Or if you're an artist, what's your artist statement? Just a short 1 or 2 sentence description that can really encapsulate what you are. And then we can use that towards a forward-facing digital presence. So what is that? And then using that description, deciding on your brand colors and a very simple logo. So color and font are usually the two things that I talk about with clients the most about where do we begin with branding. If you notice throughout my presentation, my colors are teal and orange. And so I kind of use that everywhere on all of my business assets. And Canva makes that really easy to get the exact same color in your social media content, your profile picture, your email header, and just keeping those colors consistent and your fonts is a good place to start. So no matter what channel you're doing, you want to have those resources in your pocket. Who am I? What am I selling? Or what is the the thing that I want people to be able to connect with me about? What's the event? What is it? And getting a couple of those buzzwords in that might attract people to your business. Like if you're a theater or if you're an open mic, make sure that's in your description. And then deciding on kind of the palette and the fonts to use, then you can make your channel. And that's genuinely all you need to get started. So you can create the Facebook and then the content will come later. But taking that leap to just generate the account, nail down a username, is really the first step. If you're really looking to reach the younger audience and you find that TikTok is the platform for you, a great example of that is I operate my dog's account, Pepper Rose, and she is very successful on TikTok more than any other platform. I think that's because that is what TikTok wants, is very fun, light content. But she has 35,000 followers, and we were able to monetize her following into brand deals, partnerships, things like that. So if you want to venture into TikTok, it doesn't always have to be its very own thing. So something else we'll talk about over the course of the session is repurposing content. So, okay, you made a Facebook, you made an Instagram, and you're posting on the Instagram and the Facebook. Say you generate a video, you can download that and repost it on TikTok. So all this to say, if you're creating a piece of content, if you're making any post, a photo or a video, you should never just post it to one platform at a time. Repurposing that content is going to make it a lot more valuable to you. And there are a lot of simple tools that will make that as easy as possible. So that if you have your Facebook and Instagram account, it's easy, very easy to just repost that on TikTok and see what it does. It might take off, it might surprise you, but the effort versus reward is really valuable, that it is minimal effort to download content that you're already creating for Instagram and then to upload it to TikTok. So then the last point is obviously just the consistency of the brand colors, logo, profile picture, things like that I mentioned. And that leads me to kind of my 3 C's in advice for digital content generation. So obviously the content itself is number one. If you have a page that just exists and it's kind of chilling there, there's no content for people to engage with, it's not going to serve you very well as a marketing tool. So we got to generate content. Consistency is really the idea that you are posting that content with some sort of frequency so that people are seeing things on their feed consistently. And then the last C is collaboration. All of us, no matter what field you're in, whether it's my dog's account or it's a theatrical event, there are other people in your locale or even in the digital sphere that are doing similar work or might be able to collaborate with you to spread your message farther to the exact target audience that you're trying to reach. Another example with my pet, Pepper Rose, when you follow the like accounts, that's how we ended up getting to certain brands because other people are recommending you, they know you, and they know that you are engaging with their content, so they engage with yours in a sense of reciprocity. It's very similar to the theatrical idea of stuffing postcards in other shows' programs. This is kind of the digital version of that, where, hey, we have a show going on at the same time as you. Would you be willing to share that information to your audience who are already theater goers and therefore a smaller subset of the pool that you're trying to engage in the digital realm. So content. The content itself should be branded. And so, like, what does that mean? I often advise my clients that if you have a logo that you can remove the background of and put in the corner of your photographs, put in the corner of your infographics, that you should do so. Because often when people are scrolling on any platform, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, they don't always make the connection between great content and the brand. A great example is you see a meme that you like, someone is, the latest thing was the Titanic submersible and that whole news story, right? So if you posted something about that was relevant to that moment in digital social media, you should put your brand logo in the corner just to make sure that they are making the connection between you and your brand. Now, I don't know what brand would want to be connected with that, but I did see quite a few TikToks about the Titanic submersible. But if there's something, maybe it's a Pride post for the month of June, and you want to say Happy Pride. I love that. But who's saying it and why do we care? So just making subtle connections. If it's not literally the logo, for James, our latest project, we put Going Acoustic at Quigs, large and in charge, but you also do things in your brand colors that help make that subconscious connection that are not exactly your logo. So right now I'm using my orange and my teal. It's Gracie Carson Communications, but you don't see my exact logo. It also offers you a starting point. Once you have decided on your brand colors and you go into a Canva tool or something similar, you can generate templates and then customize them to be your brand colors. So it is personal and it is in your voice, but it didn't take a lot of time and effort. If you're doing something like TikTok, where maybe colors aren't as, readily available in the video, it's your face, it's recorded content, you have to have a consistent style or voice. And so this is something that I use with Pepper's account, where she doesn't have a logo. It's just her face is kind of the brand, but we have videos that are more her style or less. And so if a brand reaches out and they ask us to do something that's not consistent with her quirky, fun, short-legged corgi brand, we might have a discussion about that. So maybe in that artist statement, once you nail that down, really figuring out what your style on video recorded content wants to be. People usually have an instinct about this. I find it's helpful to make a list of, yes, I would post this as my coaching personality, or no, I wouldn't post this. And then kind of quantifying where those things overlap, and the Venn diagram of, this feels like my content. And so in video, that can be super daunting. The great thing about Canva is that you can take still photographs and turn them into a video. This is something I suggest for a lot of my clients who are nervous about getting in front of the camera. It's not their style to do that. A great example is my client, Joe Lex. He operates a podcast, and his voice is the brand, but not his face. And he doesn't want that to be centered. He wants the people in the narrative to be centered. So what we do is every episode, I take still photographs of things that are relevant to the episode, and also use stock video. So I'll show you how to do this as well in Canva, but with a pro account, they even have stock B-roll footage of things like recently I needed railroad tracks. You search for it in the elements and their videos offer you different B-roll footage of railroad tracks. And using that in combination with still photographs and some of the animation features that are very user-friendly, we had a video. And so thinking like that in creative ways to retool things is going to be something that's really helpful in terms of generating your content. Consistency. So you made this stuff. So you are an expert at Canva now. You use it all the time. You have amazing photographs. You have production photos. You have videos of you talking. You have all this content and it's so great. How do you use it? And how do you use it to your best advantage? My advice for consistency is to schedule in advance. So we're all incredibly busy and you might have time on a Monday and not during the rest of the week, but you don't want to post all of your content for that week on that one day. You don't want to use up all your good stuff and then people are not seeing you on their feed for the rest of the week or month. So instead, there are free tools that you can use to schedule your posts to go out at optimum times. And you can schedule them on your time. So today's Monday, I have all the time in the world. I've made a bunch of content this week. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to schedule out my Facebook and Instagram posts using Meta Business Suite. So I will do a full tutorial on the Meta Business Suite if we have time. If not, we can circle back in another session. But it's completely free. So I mentioned that Meta owns Facebook and Instagram. So those things talk to each other really nicely. And those you're able to do in the quote unquote Meta Business Suite, 100% free of charge. They do try to encourage you to boost posts, but that's a whole other ball game, which I'll do a session on in the future in terms of paid ad campaigns. Okay, so what about Twitter and what about TikTok? How do I post that? Do I have to post those things live? No, you don't. You can schedule your TikToks and tweets in advance. The way to do that is through third-party platforms like Buffer or Hootsuite. Buffer is free if you are using one channel. So Facebook and Instagram are handled on Meta Business Suite. I really want to add Twitter into the mix. You can use Buffer to schedule those out for free. If you would rather do TikTok, you can do that as your one channel as well. Buffer obviously offers packages where if you're like, well, heck, I want to do everything on this. They start at $10 a month. It's very reasonable, but that's another service that you can use to schedule things in advance. LinkedIn also has a free scheduling feature built into the platform itself. Why would you ever use LinkedIn? You might be asking. Well, as Jackie mentioned, everything is always changing. And at the end of the day, all these platforms are trying to make money as well. And LinkedIn is shifting their model as more of kind of a resume reservoir, if you will, to be more of a direct social media platform. They are allowing accounts to turn on creator mode, trying to simulate this creator vibe that exists on other platforms like Instagram and TikTok. You can create business pages on LinkedIn and schedule those in advance. And what I would say this is great for is obviously if you're hiring, scheduling posts on LinkedIn to go out at an optimum time for you when you have time, that's great. It also is a good space to connect with other professionals in your industry, regardless. So if you're operating a personal LinkedIn account and you're coaching people, I have a client who is an executive coach, and he coaches specifically CEOs of a certain level. You can use that to kind of generate and curate a community of other professionals in your industry or the industry that you're trying to target. So, not sure if anyone in this seminar is specifically going to be a LinkedIn fanatic, but it's possible. And they have a scheduling function that's 100% free so that you can post consistently. And that's kind of the end of the day message is, if you're only posting when you have a show or when you have a new offering, you're not going to be as successful as as bleh, as though you were posting, I always suggest 2 to 3 times a week. And that's really what you should be doing. Even if you're in an off season or a downtime, you should really aim for twice a week. And then that goes back to, well, what the heck should I be posting? We'll talk about some content generation ideas and specifically the tool of Canva and what that can do in terms of stimulating your creativity. Collaboration. So you've done all the steps. You made your Facebook account, you made your Instagram, you generated all this beautiful content, and then you scheduled it to go out. Oh, you're doing great. But you're not getting the engagement that you want. Well, how do you boost that? How do you boost your visibility, and how do you not pay for it? Because Facebook will tell you for the low price of $25 an hour, you can boost it to the heavens. The biggest thing that I have found when you are organically or without paying, you're organically growing a following is collaboration. So every Facebook business page has its own timeline. If you have a personal Facebook account, this term is familiar to you. Your timeline is your news feed that you scroll and you engage with. You can like, comment, react. You should be doing those things, not just on your personal page. You can do whatever you want on your personal page, no judgment. But you should be doing something similar on your business page. And this is a step that people often forget or don't have the time to engage with. But just an hour a week can really make a difference in terms of, if you're interacting with other accounts, there is an air of reciprocity where, oh, Plays and Players liked my post. Maybe I'll go to their account and see what Plays and Players is up to. Well, I didn't know they even had an Instagram. They're liking my content. Oh, I'll give them a follow. Similarly, if you have some amazing photos with some in-person collaborators that you're working with, make sure to tag them. This is something that can be done in advance on Meta Business Suite. You can tag people and their accounts on Facebook or Instagram, and then when it posts, it will automatically tag them. It's so beautiful. And you can also do something called adding a collaborator. This is an Instagram specific function. What this does is, instead of, you might see people repost content, maybe Plays and Players posted something and then my company Paper Dolls is sharing it, but it's about the same event. The idea of adding a collaborator is that Plays and Players can post something before you post, which is very important because you can't add a collaborator after it's posted. Before you post, you'll go to tag, invite collaborator, and add Paper Dolls. What that does is it sends an invitation to that collaborative account. And if they accept, it will also be on their page. So they don't have to repost it. It automatically will be on both of your feeds. And that way, anybody who interacts with that post, you're combining all the likes, comments, and everything onto one post instead of multiple reposts. So that is just a very deliberate, exact collaborative way that you can kind of, instead of divide and conquer, unite and conquer to get that engagement. Oh, here it is. Okay, so you posted, you added your collaborators, there's so many tags. Why the heck is it not getting likes? Why are people not viewing your reel? Let's talk about everybody's favorite algorithm. Such a big buzzword. What does it even mean? I always imagine tiny little people behind the scenes, just kind of like, yeah, boosting different content that they like to somewhere. Based on the algorithm, I actually had a business account get banned after the insurrection for it just scooped up all these accounts and banned them. And so the algorithm gives and it takes away. We can do our best to try and make the algorithm happy. And so I'm going to just offer some ideas in which to appease the algorithm. Things the algorithm likes. The algorithm really likes photos, videos, and hashtags. Now let's unpack that because hashtags are obviously a loaded topic. For photos, if you're posting on Instagram, I've done it myself. You may have even seen them promoting this event where it's an image, but it's more of an infographic. It is mostly text. Those things will appeal to some people. The algorithm would rather you put a photo on there. So even if it's a B-roll, like stock photo, like this video, this is not my video. Canva gave me that video when I searched influencers. And it's great. And it's free to use. There are caveats to that, but so it's free to use after you pay for Canva Pro. There are some free videos that are 100% free. But for photos, if you don't have an exact photo of your event, say you are hosting a gala and you will be serving champagne. Well, let's quickly look up a picture of champagne and someone drinking champagne to appease the algorithm and go on our photo instead of just a block of text that says, there will be champagne, though that would get my attention. Even better is videos. If you just think about it, as human beings, we are drawn to each other's faces. That's a natural instinct. We also have our attention grabbed by moving pictures. So if you're scrolling through a sea of content and something starts moving at you, you're more likely, and the science behind it agrees, that you are going to look at that post longer than a photo. Last summer, Instagram was just rolling out their Reels feature, and they were pushing that really hard. And so I posted videos to Gretna Theater's account. Bill, I know you're up there near Harrisburg. And they got 15,000 views. They were the silliest, like most ridiculous video. It was, would you rather have a pig-sized elephant or an elephant-sized pig? And the apprentices were answering that question, and it got that many views just because it's video content. Hashtags. Oh, hashtags. So similarly to the waxing and waning of the way that these platforms even function, the use of hashtags varies per platform. There is no one size fits all for hashtags and the algorithm, because the important thing is the algorithm of every platform is different. Even though Instagram and Facebook are owned by the same company, they operate very differently. Instagram is a wonderful, wonderful place to use hashtags. But I caution you, do not use too many hashtags. As I said, the algorithm give and taketh away. The algorithm, there's like a sweet spot and it changes. So you'll have to come back to me and see what the updates are. Right now, there's a physical limit of 30 hashtags on a single Instagram post. That's plenty. We don't need that many hashtags anyway. But I like to keep it around 9 to 12. So if you can pick 9 really good hashtags, you're in a good place. Now, why the heck do we need to include hashtags anyway? What a hashtag does, and maybe some of you even engage with this, is a hashtag is something that users can follow that is not an account. It's a topic or a place. So if you really enjoy Philly theater, I follow the hashtag Philly theater. So all the posts that include that in their description, their caption, will be added to that 9 to 12. 9 to 12 for Instagram. Yes, Jackie. Because on Facebook, I would not include a hashtag at all. I wouldn't. Users on Facebook just don't follow hashtags the way Instagram users do. For TikTok, it gets tricky. Sometimes they push the most videos that have no hashtags. Sometimes a specific hashtag is, it's kind of, you got to trial and error on TikTok. We're actually working with the shopping function and we're getting training. Me and Pepper Rose, my dog, are getting training from TikTok headquarters directly next month. So I will have more secret insider info on what the heck TikTok wants after that. But 9 to 12 hashtags for Instagram is great because we can break it down. Okay, 3 hashtags about what, where, and when. So if you do 3 of each, boop, 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 that's 9. So what is it? Hashtag live event, hashtag coaching, hashtag CEO support group. What is it? Just try and think of 3 hashtags about the actual content of your post or your organization. If you need help, or if you don't know if a hashtag is good, meaning is this too specific, you should look it up first. So in every platform, I would suggest doing it on Instagram again. If you look up hashtag no shoes nation, that's Kenny Chesney, you can see how many other posts there are and how many followers that hashtag has. So if you're hashtagging Gracie Carson Communications, I'm flattered, but nobody's following that. Nobody's following that hashtag. So you're not going to get the benefit if it's too specific. You tried it with 4 to 5. Great.
Just to fool around. I was just fooling around to see if it works.
Yeah. And that is really when you're working with the algorithm and you're just starting out, putting content out there, if you're doing it consistently, you have a lot of chances twice a week.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Exactly. Then you can see, did this perform well or not? And I'll show you how to access some very specific insights as well, where it's not just, is this getting likes, but is it getting reach or is it appearing in front of people. Maybe they're not liking it, but they saw it with their eyeballs.
Well, I
And then,
saw where you said you could see how many, like, if you do the
uh-huh.
hashtag and you say like,
Oh, right.
and you can see how many followers there are or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was fooling around with.
Yes. Hashtagging your name makes no sense unless you're Beyonce. You don't have a hashtag. Mm-mm. So you could try to make one for yourself, but it's better use of your time and energy to use hashtags that people are following, because that's the whole idea behind them. The thing that the algorithm does not like is being called out. The algorithm thinks it's sneaky and it doesn't want you to call it out. So if you are posting something and you are like, I'm just posting this with a photo for the algorithm, it's going to bury it. It's going to bury it so far underneath the Earth's surface, because it really, it doesn't like it. It's a buzzword that it literally will filter lower on people's news feeds if you use literally the word algorithm. My favorite is to then make it a proper noun, algorithm. People do all sorts of things, but if you cannot call it out in your caption, that's probably for the best. I feel like maybe we have more questions on hashtags. Are there more questions bubbling in the surface?
Mhm.
Dallas says yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I would just like to ask a favor, and that is, you mentioned that you were going to go to a TikTok convention at the end of the month to learn the real stuff. And I'm wondering if you would just send us a little update of any
Yeah.
like bullet points that you think would be
Of
helpful.
course.
Yep. thank you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
The whole reason I wanted to have this seminar, which maybe I should have started with, is because I feel that digital marketing is often a very gate-kept subject.
Mhm.
That it is kind of like fly by night. And there are tools, there are free, easy to use tools, or low cost, relatively, that are available for everyone. And, you know, I would rather teach you how to fish and be successful, because I am but one lady and I can't do it for everyone, but I know that people are capable of doing it for themselves. So let's learn how to fish. Carly. Did you have a question, Carly? You just wanted to appear?
I'm just appearing. I have a question, but I'm going to save it for later.
Okay. Okay, amazing. Okay, great. So some of those resources that make your lives easier in terms of digital marketing are these three bad boys right here: Snaptick, CapCut, and Regram. Okay. These are all apps. These are mobile device apps that help in the retooling and multi-use utilization of content. Snaptick. Okay, you have a TikTok account. TikTok is very hard to monetize. Pepper and I have 35,000 followers. The actual amount of money I have made from her is like $1 ever. I get free things with her face on them, and that's great. And I love that, because I probably would have bought them anyway. But monetizing that as an influencer is very hard. So, okay, you have a TikTok and you want to make the Instagram or a YouTube Shorts. You can literally download the TikTok without the watermark and re-upload it to another platform and let it fly. Now, what the heck is a watermark, and why do I want to remove it? Every platform, they want to own that. They want this to say, no, this is from Pepper Rose's TikTok account. Here's her handle. You should actually go follow her here. Our friend Algorithm does not like the watermarks. It can see them, it can detect them, and it will bury it deep under the earth's crust. So instead, we have these workarounds where we remove the watermark. So that's TikTok to Instagram. Use the app Snaptic. It is free. You have to watch an ad to download it. That's the capitalist hellscape that we live in. It's fine. And it's worth it. If you want to download from Instagram to then upload to TikTok, you can use Regram, which is the one that's all the way over here on the right. So same thing, you'll copy and paste your link. It will download without the watermark, and you will put it up on your Tickety TikTok account, and it will soar and fly like an eagle. CapCut is a video content generation app. They have templates that you upload like a picture or one video, and then it literally turns it into something else. I should have put it in this presentation. Maybe I'll pull it up at the end if we have time. They also have AI integration in CapCut where you do things like I uploaded Pepper's photo and they AI generated the Barbie version of her, which is hysterical and very cute. And it cost me nothing. I have a million pictures of her. So it takes your existing material and it retools it in an interesting way that the internet loves. We love it.
I have a question.
Yes.
So when you were saying removing the watermark, by using the mobile app, one of these, by using one of them, it will automatically remove the watermark? Or do you have to do something to remove it?
No. So each platform
Mhm.
has a download feature. So you
Yes.
can download directly from TikTok
Mhm.
and it will have the watermark.
Okay,
If you copy the link and download it through one of these apps, it removes it for you.
okay, gotcha.
Yes. Does that make sense?
Yep, thank you.
Amazing. So next on my list is to do the physical demonstrations of Meta and Canva. But I think this is a good place to pause and get some questions. So what else is lurking in your brain, Carly?
Oh, the one that's lurking in my brain is like what to do when you have all the slashes, like where we're like, and like so many of us as artists are like
Yeah.
a director, a teaching artist, a performer, this, that, like, and like I've asked this question other places and I've got multiple different answers. So it's like, but what do you think in terms of like, do you bundle them all as like one big umbrella, or do you chunk them out, or is it like, how do things kind of fit together? Thoughts on that? Like when there's like multiple different things that you're doing and like multiple different, because we all have the multiple side hustles and side gigs and side jobs that we love too, like that they're not just side, it's like we do many things to put it all together. So that's my question also within like branding and consistency.
Right. Yes. I would say the answer is different depending on the platform. And so I think, like, I just had this conversation with Brooke McCarthy, who is like, I am promoting this show. Like, this is often the question of like, do you make an Instagram for a show, like for a project or a company, right? My answer would be, let's put it on the company, because making new accounts is hard to get new followers, with a caveat that I own and operate like 6 different Instagram accounts because they are very different things. And so what I would say is, depending on how different, which deciding that is difficult, it might be beneficial to make separate Instagram accounts specifically for things like Grapeseed For those of you who don't know, I also am a visual artist and I sculpt polymer clay earrings. Okay. Not super relevant to this work. So I have a completely separate MetaSuite Facebook and Instagram and TikTok account for them, for Grapeseed. It's a lot to manage. So the second thing is logistically, what is the most sense making for you as a person? So in other platforms, if it's a website, there should be one website. There should not be 10,000 Carly Bodner websites. There should be one website landing page, because that's a platform where you can make different pages that are specific to your multiple disciplines. Just like on a theater event, you would make a page for the show that is like, great, then I can link that out. The other thing I would suggest, Carly, is Linktree. So that's another resource that is free where you can gather all of the relevant links to your life and professional career, pop that on your personal Instagram page to encourage people to follow you in other platforms for, you know, do you need a separate Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, for like, that seems unwieldy and not manageable. And also, if they're all related, if they're like different versions of you, if it is, these are my theatrical offerings, I think maybe we can have a Carly Bodner personal and a Carly Bodner professional. That's what I do for myself. I have my Lady Gracie. This is kind of a catch-all where I actually then get to promote all of the accounts that I have, including Pepper Rose. But I have a Gracie Carson Communications that is like, this is just for digital marketing. And so I think if you're going to make a coaching account, that makes sense for people to buy in to that. Do you need a separate directing account? No, I don't think so. I think even if it's personal, professional, and that's the only distinction, that feels right to me for an artist's purpose. Did that answer?
Great. Thank you.
That
Yes.
answer your
Yes, it did. Yeah, it did. In a great way. Like, thank you.
Great. Yeah. Other questions? We talked about so much content.
Yeah, I have a question actually. I know you said you recommend posting between 2 to 3 times a week. Do people benefit more by posting more, or is it kind of just kind of moot at that point?
You absolutely benefit by posting more. I have never met a client that I have told to post less. The more you can post, really once a day is what you should be doing. It also depends on the platform. Facebook 3 times a week is great, and that's probably fine because those users are not daily users. So they'll log on, they'll probably see it throughout the week. Something like TikTok, when you're really in the growth phase of trying to get a following, you should be posting multiple times a day, which is why TikTok is one of the hardest apps to really break into. For Instagram, once a day is perfect. And sometimes, you know, I would say take the weekends off. So 5 times a week is like, that's the goal. I say when you're in an off-season downturn to do 2 to 3 times, because that to me is the minimum. So I would say to infinity and beyond. The reason being, not everyone is seeing everything. All of your followers, you know, say you have 1,000 followers, they're not all seeing every single post. So I don't worry, and I don't advise my clients to worry about overloading people, because in the rules of marketing, and this is more of a traditional marketing school of thought, it takes 7 times for people to see something before they take action. So 7 times, that's a flippin' lot. If you post 5 times a week, they might see 1. So then you're looking at 7 weeks to reach people, to get them from the point of contact to action. If you increase your platforms, then maybe you can take it, like maybe you have an email listserv too, and that's great, and you're reaching them directly. But I always say more is more. I hope that answers your question.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Great. What else? Are we ready for a Meta Business Suite tutorial?
Yes,
Yeah, Stella.
yes.
Great. Okay, so how many of you have a Facebook business account? Hands? Facebook business account. Facebook business account. Bill,
No,
we're gonna get you
Nope.
one.
no, yeah.
Great. Okay. So Bill, we'll get you there. We'll get you
Okay.
there. It's okay. It's no problem. No judgment zone. I just wanted to know. So it used to be, way back in the before times, your page was just that. It was kind of like a facet of your personal page. But since Meta has shifted to the new pages experience, if you all got that little transition notice, they operate more as their own account, which is where things like the timeline, where you can like and follow similar accounts, come into play. So here is my Facebook business page. I have so many, which is great. You, once you create it, can also add people on there to help. If you work with a larger organization, you can add editors and collaborators. This is the timeline. This is your homepage. So as you can see, a lot of what I follow on this business account are my clients. And then I like their posts, and it helps boost their visibility. So this is another kind of like, not a cheat code, but just a best practice that if you know, like we just talked about, Carly, if you have a personal and a professional page, you should be liking and engaging with your own content, because Mr. Algorithm likes things that people like. So the number one way to boost your visibility is to get engagement. And if you have a way to literally boost that engagement yourself, go for it. Pepper Rose likes all my stuff, and it helps my visibility. So amazing. Sounds good, James. Take care. All right. So then, whoa, what the heck is going on here? We got so many options. We'll do separate seminars on all of them, maybe. But first, let's go into the Meta Business Suite, because this is really the moneymaker. This is really where the most useful tools lie. Here, we want Planner. And this Planner function is what's going to help you schedule posts in advance. Not only does it let you schedule, it tells you when. It tells you when you should schedule based on your following. So for some reason that I'll never understand, but the algorithm does, this Wednesday at 4:00 p.m. is a projected active time for my Instagram followers. So I want to post something there, because that is, since we're not using a third party like Buffer or Hootsuite, we're getting data directly from the source, and that's super valuable and free. It's free. So what time of day should I post, or when should I post? They're telling you right here. So, okay, I don't actually want to post on Wednesday. I want to post on Tuesday. Well, let's see. We'll go into create. Here is the magical tool where we can post simultaneously. You can also schedule them to go out at different times. I can post to my Facebook, my Instagram, and Facebook groups all at the same time. And you can do it in advance. So Facebook groups, why the heck would I want to post in a Facebook group? This is already a gathering of people who have expressed interest in a certain topic. How amazing is that in terms of organic marketing and reach? Wonderful. So we're gonna add a cute little photo. Let's see if we have some. Here's Pepper Rose. We'll add her. And we're gonna post to, sure, we'll post to this Facebook group. Oh no, her aspect ratio is off. Well, we can edit it to square directly in Meta Business Suite. Wow, magical. That's so magical. I love it. Now, this is Pepper Rose. Here's my caption. I want to use hashtags on Instagram and not on Facebook. Let me customize them. Hashtag doggo, hashtag cutie, hashtag pup cups. And now if you're like, where do I even begin with a hashtag? There is also in Meta Business Suite this amazing function that shows you popular hashtags right now. So Monday motivation, I never would have thought to use that, but you can use that with pretty much any post. And like, obviously it's Monday, let's do it. Add. The more information you put in here, the happier the algorithm is going to be. If you add that you're in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the algorithm is going to push this to other people who are in your area. Amazing. Now you can publish it right now and it'll go out on all those platforms right now, or you can schedule it in advance, which is my favorite feature. If I want to see what other times are active, today at 7 p.m. would have been a good time to post. Oh, well, we'll do tomorrow. It's 6 p.m. is active for Facebook, 9 p.m. for Instagram. Sure. And schedule. Now, when we go back in our calendar, we see that this is up here and going to post tomorrow. So it also shows you all your past posts. And the reason we want that, and stories, you can also schedule your stories in here, so many options, is because then not only does it tell you in advance what times are going to be active, it tells you how you performed. So you can go into your past posts and reach, you can see how you did. So, okay, this one didn't do great. But if we go into insights, you can kind of understand a little bit more how your account is doing. This is what I was talking about before. Reach is how many people have your posts been in front of? How many people saw this in their feed? If we go to all of our results, you can see how many people went to your profile and then how many followers you got. 16 new followers. And you can change this to be any amount of time. So the past week, the past 14 days, it is red when it's down after your all-time high. And it seems scary, but it's actually like, those are good numbers for me, for my account. Great. So then it's planned, it's scheduled at an optimum time. Questions about scheduling posts?
That's all I can say.
I know. So I show clients this because it literally is like, what?
Yeah.
It's all here. You just need to know how to use it. I've had clients just be like, my mind is blown because it answers so many of the questions that people starting out have. Like, when the heck am I supposed to post? And when am I going to find the time? Because you're running a business.
Yep, yep.
This is in addition to, it's not the whole, and that's how this then became my business because I enjoy doing this. And so now I will take on this part for other organizations. But yeah. Mhm.
I imagine what you're doing for us today is a great introduction. And I imagine there are, because I'll need a review.
Yes.
And I imagine that there are YouTube videos that will take you through this as well.
Yes, there are. And there also is literally in Meta itself, there is a whole help guide, and I can send links to that as well.
Okay, that would be
In
great.
our notes. I'll send the presentation, this recording, and then links to all of the resources that I mentioned today.
Okay.
So that you have access to them, because that's the biggest barrier for people to start is access. And so I just want to grant that access to
Yeah,
you.
great, thank you.
So you can review this recording. You can also use the Meta Business Suite little help function. They have some videos that walk you through it. And then of course, if you search YouTube, I'm sure there will be some more tutorial videos.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and delete this, which is an important thing to know how to do. Delete. So here you can schedule the time, delete it forever and always, or, you can edit anything about it. You want to add your hashtags later,
Okay.
all that good stuff. Poof, gone. Amazing. Any other questions about scheduling?
So if we do schedule a post, I'm kind of jumping into more paid ad territory, but
sure.
can you schedule like a boost as well, or any like paid feature?
Yes. So you can, if you go into your ads function, there are, big old can of worms, but you can schedule a post to start in advance and then to run through a certain period of time. You can also, if you're boosting a post that exists, I think you have to do that like when you want it to start. I have not been able to schedule that to start any later than the day that I am placing that ad. If you generate an ad from scratch, you're able to do that. I do love a boost. So things that you can do to make boosting in the moment easier are to create an audience in advance and to already you're boosting a post, so the material is already there. And then you should be able to just boost it on that day. And then you can choose an audience that's already created that is tailored to your market. So if I went in, now I'm going to go back on my Facebook page. Oh, no. Okay. And so I'm going to boost her. If I go down here to my audience details, I already have a lot of custom audiences that I can boost to. So the key to doing this would be creating and saving an audience in advance, and then just using that on your boosted post in the future. So if you're doing, this is very theater centered, Philly food and drink, people who like cocktails are going to want to come to whatever this event was. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Awesome. Yes. Thank you.
Great. And then in the ad feature, you really go down a rabbit hole of what the algorithm is capable of in terms of finding people. I was making an ad with a client, and you can choose people who have friends whose birthday is that month. So they want to maybe go out for some, if it's a fun potential birthday outing. You can do things where people have anniversaries coming up. You can target those people, and all sorts of behaviors and interests that are mildly terrifying. But we'll use it to our advantage. Any other scheduling questions? All right, let's go back to Canva. Or what? Did I have a question?
No. No.
Thanks, Tom. Awesome. All right, let's go back to Canva. So remind me, how many of you have used Canva before?
Nope.
I've used it to design covers and things like that. I have posters and things like that. I haven't used it for marketing or anything.
Sure. Great. So a nice mix. So I'll send a link to Canva in our resource guide. Here she is. They're integrating, even if you have used Canva in the past, there are a lot of new things rolling out, including the AI integration, which is so fun. But this is a free resource that even when you are paying for it, so I pay for the premium to have access to all of their content, it's $120 a year, which is so super worth it for what this is capable of. So up here, if you've ever wondered, and this is such a pet peeve of mine, what size a Facebook event cover photo is. How do you make an event cover that is not cut off? So many people repurpose their sliders, their email headers, and we could just resize it in Canva and it would be perfect. And that's just my OCD speaking. So if you want to make a Facebook event cover, you just type it in here and it has a Facebook event cover in all the dimensions. Voila. The best thing about Canva is the templates, because the biggest hurdle to creating content is trying to come up with ideas. 5 times a week, like I just said to Juliana, that's a lot of posts. What the heck do you have to say? What are you going to post about? So here we can search for templates of, you'll see some of the things that I was looking for recently are fish. I don't know why. Here's some amazing, summer. We love this. So great. Oh, what a cute text. That's an image. Oh, hello, Gracie. And then you can modify it to be like, I don't know if I love that. We'll change the colors. And you can completely customize it. Once you have your brand together, you can upload in Canva your brand hub. So like here, boom. Now I just modified it to be Gracie Carson Communications colors. All because I added my brand colors into the quote hub. So this is a paid feature, obviously, but you can put in your custom colors. Again, Della, this is something that for Canva tutorials, there's so many things that you can do. If you're looking to do something specifically, you can probably find a tutorial video, or you can reach out to me. Yeah. Uploads, maybe I want a fun picture of me. Let's see. Do I have one? This is from my wedding. Here she is. Oh, but that doesn't fit very well. Let's see if we can remove the background. In one click with Canva Pro, I will remove the background. It feels like a magic trick. Ooh. Here she goes. She's thinking real hard. But in theory, Boom.
Oh, nice.
Just having magic, right?
Right.
So, and then we can crop this. Oh my gosh, wow, how stunning. This is,
Yeah.
I didn't intend to use this, but this is what we're doing. Um, let's see. Wedding. I'm gonna search for an element of, let's just see what comes up when I search wedding. Here's where we can do things like find videos. So here we can look at some stock photos. Oh, some rings.
Nice.
That's so cute. Rings. We love rings. That doesn't look amazing. Maybe we want to put it in a frame. You can search for circle frames and then pop that in here. Oh, that's nice. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. And now you're a graphic designer. And just like that. So this part is cute, but you know, it's the only moving piece. That doesn't feel right. Let's see if we can animate the whole thing.
Can I ask a question? Are you able to do all this because you have purchased the Pro, or is this available without purchasing the Pro?
So things that have little crowns next to it are the pro features. So the free, all the frames are absolutely free.
Okay.
And then if you look at the photos, anything, so like if it has this little crown that's a pro, that's
Okay,
something
gotcha.
only I could use.
Yep.
But you know, you can use this absolutely free.
Mhm. Good to know. Thank you.
Yes. And so similarly, you know, to the video component, this is a, I don't know, what is that? Oh, do it now. Is a free video. So obviously when you pay for it, a lot more opens up, but these features are free. So if you want to start out and see how you like it, you
Yep.
can test every feature.
Yep.
And then just get access to more if you choose to go for the pro option.
Thank you.
I'm not a Canva spokesperson, like I don't get a commission from Canva, so you can take it or leave it. But I just love Canva because it's so easy. I mean, you just, oh, look at how cute she is. In just literal seconds, we're able to make this content. Yeah.
So I'm sorry to keep hogging all that
I
questions.
love it.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so let's say I have a business one for the company and not one for a personal myself. So if I did Canva, would I be able to use one program for both?
Yes,
Yes, okay.
that's a great question.
Yeah, okay.
So there are things on Canva are called teams.
Okay.
So if you're using it in a professional capacity, you
Yes.
can have a personal Canva account. So like
Mhm.
this is my personal account. I
Okay.
am on professional teams with several different
Oh.
organizations and coworkers. So that means that I can only see, like we're only editing things that are related to that organization on that team.
Okay.
So all my personal, whatever the heck I just made is not gunking up this organization's Canva, right? But I'm a team member, so we can edit it together and we both have access to the same file and we're able to go in and make edits. So that's how Canva reconciles the personal and professional. But yes, it's all technically under the same account.
Oh, good to know. Yes, thanks.
Yes. This is a pro feature, but this is my favorite pro feature, is the resize. So, okay, I made this. It's a Facebook event cover photo. Well, that's great, but what about, you know, Instagram? So if I want to resize to be a square, with one click, it resizes it for me. And then all you have to do is make a couple adjustments and it will be ready to go. And now it's a square post. Similarly, if you make a video feature and you say, now I really want to post this on TikTok, you can resize it into a TikTok video.
Okay, I have another question.
Yes.
Okay, so this is probably a stupid question, but
No stupid questions.
thank you. But once you've made it here, like the Facebook event cover,
Yes.
how do you go from this? How do you post it?
Well, that is a great question. That is not a dumb question at all. Yeah, let's do it. So the first step is you're gonna want to download this baby. So you're gonna download it to your desktop. If you want it to be moving, like we just did, you would download the MP4. For a static image, you can do this as a PNG. And if you want it to be higher quality, you just slide it on up like that.
Okay.
And so
Is there,
then
is there a recommended quality?
for digital, if you're posting it on social, what they suggest is great. You don't want too high quality for social because they're going to compress it anyway.
Okay,
The platform will compress it down. For Instagram, 1080 by 1080 is the standard size, and that's in pixels, 1080 pixels. And so usually what they suggest in Canva is totally fine. If you're working on something like a playbill design or a book cover bill, you might want it to be a little bit more high quality if you're going to print. Okay, so I just downloaded my test design.
mhm,
Leave. I don't want to place an ad. We'll come back into our Meta Business Suite. And we'll go back to our planner like we did. And so this is how I make every single post, even just because why not? I used to do things by hand, or you can do it on your phone. Like you can always do it the old-fashioned way. Like you can literally take this post and put it up there. But I love to use the planner, and I think this is a good review for us anyway. So you'll go into our downloads, we'll find the test design file, and then you upload it here. Ah, there she is. And then you'll add your text and you'll go through the, the stages that we did earlier, finding an active time, saving and scheduling. And then this will post.
okay.
Does that make sense? So the key really is to download off of Canva and then bring it back into your thing. They do have a trick here that is share on social. You could technically integrate your social media accounts and post directly from Canva to your Facebook page.
Okay,
The only thing about that is you don't get the benefit of knowing what time and things like that. So they are rolling out this scheduling feature to try and compete with, Instagram business via Facebook. You can do that. You can integrate your accounts.
so let me get this straight. So you've created this in sorry, everybody.
No, don't be. No, this is so important.
So you've created this in Canva, then you go in, and then you go into scheduling, meta scheduling
Yes.
to post it
Yes.
and to schedule the post
Yes.
rather than just going directly to the Facebook page or something.
Exactly.
Okay,
So, you access Meta Business Suite through your Facebook page.
mm-hmm.
So you'll go to the Facebook page and then you'll go to Meta Business Suite and then you will plan. Does that make sense, Della?
Yes,
Great.
I'm following.
Great. Yeah, so for people who have used Canva, some fun tips and tricks. I love to explore these image editing functions. This is the new AI feature, which is really fun. If you haven't played with it yet, you can erase people or objects from images. They've integrated a lot of Photoshop-esque elements,
Okay.
and you can do like all sorts of wacky things. So like, okay, this, if I was going to insert this to be a mock-up, like this is how
Oh,
it would look
fun.
on your computer.
Yeah.
So that's like just a fun little situation that you can explore. And there's a trusty undo button. So if you don't want that, you can take it away. Even in the regular, now where are we? Here we go. Edit photo. No, revert, please. I use this function a lot. And this glow feature helps images stand out. So I don't know if you can see, this is like making on my photo, it just gave it a black outline around the whole thing. And you
Mhm.
can change your transparency. So for some of my more advanced Canva designers, this is a fun feature to play with as well. There she is. What questions do we have about Canva? What things do you wish you could do that you want to ask me about if they exist?
Mm. I'm questionless. I think I just have to go in and play in it a little bit.
Yeah.
I've got one. How I feel like I struggle with finding like the brand in
Yeah.
terms of like colors, fonts, like it feels overwhelming. Tips, tricks, thoughts in terms of like
Yeah.
creating a brand. And I wonder if it's also sometimes, I think with artists, harder because it's ourselves as opposed to being able to like be like, this is another thing.
Yes. Yes. So the first thing I would do is I would, exactly like your impulse, Carly, I would ask other people. So my friend Sarah, she was like starting out and she was like, give me 3 words, like sent like a mass email to people that she trusted and wanted their opinions. And was like, when you think of me, or in this case, it was her art, her physical visual art, what are 3 words that come to your mind? And they're words that she never would have used to describe herself, but they were so accurate in that sometimes you just need that outside opinion to be like, oh, wow, okay, that's an angle, you know? The other options are to, I would say like, yes, and as in, you know, the improv world, but to also start a Pinterest of like things, or just a mood board in any medium you like, that are things that you enjoy, which maybe is too many things. But for example, when I was creating my logo, oh my God, it's so daunting. Like, what do I want? What represents me? I went to astrology. Mama's a Pisces. I also have a fish. And so I was looking on Canva in just other logo designs. So I would also say like, look for inspiration, right? So whether it's a mood board or whether it's other people, artists, even brands, even if they're not at all related to your discipline, just other logos that you are drawn to, things that you like, and just gather them all together, you'll start to see patterns of what you're like, wow, okay, I'm more of a curvy script lady than a boxy bubble letter lady, you know? So I would say start there and then kind of see what germinates.
Can I steal someone else's brand?
Can you steal it? No.
Oh. I came across one that's like perfect, has my name, and I love the design. It says Della, and then underneath it says organic, and it has little swirls all over, and above the swirls it says create a stir. It's like, It's so perfect.
You can't steal it, Della.
Change the
You
color or
can't.
something.
You can't. You could create something similar, right? So like, let's like look at what you like about that. Okay, great. We love the font. We love a swirl. And then I would even go into Canva and just play. So let's see.
Okay.
We'll make a logo. Let's see. Elements, swirl, swirly. And then you're going to get, oh, look at that.
Okay.
That's nice. Oh, this is good. And then you can play around. Also, Carly, in terms of color, they have some built-in suggested. I should not have used a picture of myself. I don't like looking at that right now. It's so silly. I'm sorry.
No,
They have built-in styles that are suggested, right? So here you're like, oh, caveat. Oh, so they have little, and it helps if the more elements you add, that could show you the colors, you know, like, we'll add this in the corner. And then if you go into the styles, you can see they also have, you know, fonts associated with them, which you can obviously customize. But just playing around with these until you find, like, these are already technically, you know, complementary colors that they have built-in palettes for you that, I love the Glacial Indifference palette. That's very me. Why? I don't know. It's hard. It's a feeling. It's like a gut feeling. So the more options you have, the easier it is. Like, that's not it. I don't like that at all. But some people do. So this is a good place to start to just play around. So we'll make yours Stella.
Can you make the lettering go on angles and?
Sure can.
Okay.
Yeah. You can do boop. You can
Okay.
you can drag and drop. So like Canva is very intuitive. You can also, in the effects function, there's a whole world out here. You can curve it.
Oh, right.
And then here you can change the angle and the curve. Della. Neon. Boop. Yeah. And so like all these are free functions.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
There she is. I don't know if the curve is it, Bella.
Yeah. I know.
But then even you can look here, like there are handwriting options. So
Oh, okay. Right.
here we go on some scripts. That's nice. Yeah. And then you can just play.
Yeah.
I'm confident you can find your own, Della. You don't have to steal one.
Okay. I'll give it a shot.
Awesome. So there are also Canva stock audio features too.
Oh,
Even my Canva aficionados might be intrigued to learn that. Because finding audio that is not copyrighted is sometimes difficult. And so Canva has now integrated a library of sounds that are free to use into their toolbox. Yeah. Amazing. Other questions? What other Canva questions do we have? Awesome. So I would just love to go around and maybe everyone say one thing that they're going to take away from this seminar, maybe an action item. Maybe we can all hold each other accountable for one thing that you want to integrate into your social presence, or maybe what a key takeaway was for you. Volunteers. Go ahead, Della.
yeah, Canva. So I am going to go in and play a lot and try to design a couple of things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bill.
Well, yeah, I have we've talked about, I want to try to get my, I want to try to get get my web presence and my
Yeah.
SEO presence going. I had a very rudimentary website which was pretty much useless, and I need to get a better website, and I want to get that so that it, as you know, and not just a website, but a website that gets out there. You know what I mean?
I do. And so
Uh,
related to SEO,
We need to
This
get
is-
that, we need to get that and what's on there out so that it's out. So that
exactly.
it's out. Because I think so many people think that, oh, I have a website or I have a Facebook presence, and we do, but and I had a little Facebook site that was conjunction with in conjunction with that, but that didn't have much legs either. So, I need to get all that kind of hit the ground running.
Consistency.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I need
I
to
do. And so I just want to pipe in there that my pitch to clients who are hesitant to use social media but love search engine optimization is to Google yourself. And the first thing that comes up when I Google myself is my Instagram. So just know that your consistency with posting can help. It's my Instagram, my website, and my
Well,
Facebook.
If I can chime in there with that, I have a, somewhat common name, as a lot of us do.
Sure.
And I have the curse, sort of curse slash, I guess it's curse and blessing, if you want to call it that. There are at least 2 college professors
I see that.
who write a lot, and one of them I know one is in Chicago, and another one is in I don't know where they are, but they one writes about gender studies, which fascinating field that I'm not an expert in by any stretch of the imagination, and the other one writes about some sort of animal husbandry.
Okay.
And I get emails all the time
Do
asking
you?
if I'm the person that writes about those 2 things. And because I am I am on academia, I am on the academia.edu website, because I do teach.
Right,
Oh.
sure.
So I get all these emails asking if I've written about, bovine disease and such. So,
We'll talk, Bill.
Yeah, I'd love to
We'll
get
have a
that.
side conversation about how to make you stand out
Yeah,
digitally.
I need to do that, because I think the one in Chicago is the gender studies one. I have no idea where the other one is coming from. Probably somewhere in the Midwest, I would imagine. But,
Bovine studies would, yeah, that would track.
it's funny that I get those. I've never responded to one, but I do get them.
Awesome. Carly?
First, I would also just, if you did a workshop on how to stand out from the other people that have your name, I would love that.
Sure, great.
Because even mine, I have another person who got it. So I put my middle initial in, and
Mm,
that's been a journey. Where some people do it, some people don't. So I'd love a workshop on that.
absolutely.
If you do
I
it, I would
wouldn't be
take
going
it.
to that one.
I think I'm taking away, like, Gracie, this was awesome, and there's like a lot of stuff that is like good reinforcement, and then a lot of stuff I didn't. And I think what I'm taking away is the like reinforcement of like just sitting down and doing it, like the just sitting down and like sitting on a brand and being like, we're doing this and we're putting it out there. Because I think I also live in a place, and maybe other people resonate with this, where I want it to be perfect. And I'm realizing that certain things just need to be good enough.
Yeah.
to get it out there. And then if I need to change the logo, or I'm like, oh, I don't like these colors, like I can change it, but I got to at least start putting stuff out, because I'll just keep sitting and playing, or being like, oh, I don't have the right website. And it's like, no, the website is good enough right now. Just start putting stuff out. So that's what I'm taking away. Just put it
Yes.
out there.
Amazing. Oh, I didn't have a logo at all, and I had a completely different color, and I put my face because my face is gonna stay the same. So if you're really stuck and you're doing something that is a very personal connection, like is mostly you to consumer, just do your face. Get some nice headshot, or I literally took them myself, and your face is not going to change. And then absolutely, then I was like, okay, now this is a real thing I'm doing. I will get a better idea of what my logo is and like make official decisions. But yeah, yes, Queen, yes, Carly, just put it out there. Amazing. Jackie, Juliana, do you want to share? You don't have to.
Yeah, I took away that I need to look into Facebook business a little more. I think I was overwhelmed by it. I have used it to some extent, but certainly not as much as what you've shown us. So I'll definitely like set aside some time to like really look through it. Especially, I had tried sometimes with Reels specifically, you can post from Instagram and it will go to Facebook, but not, or at least for the person I've been posting for, the regular posts don't seem to do that, only the Reels, and that's weird and frustrating. So hopefully I can remedy that by just doing it on the Facebook business instead.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah. I have a lot of clients who are personally more Instagram users. And so instead they have that function where like post to other apps and share from Instagram to Facebook. And this other way seems to not make sense because like, why am I on Facebook? But it's actually so much easier. So yeah.
I also actually have a general question in terms of like, because I'm the client that I do stuff for is a artist who makes like clothing and things like that. And so a lot of things are longer term projects, and therefore it makes it hard to post every single day. And I was wondering if it matters if it's very similar, because if it's very similar posts that you're posting every day, because most of the everyday aspects of it would just be like a time lapse of a weaving or something.
Yes. No, it does not matter. Different angles, different, like use the same content multiple ways is totally fine. It goes back to not everybody is going to see everything. I've also had clients who are very like, my Instagram grid, though, it needs to be like every other photo is like this. And I'm like, no one's looking at your grid. Like they are looking in their feed. And the whole idea of posting is to try and get in their feed. So the more you post, the better. And even if you're posting very similar content, I would suggest trying to like pepper it around, be like, great, this weaving we'll post once a week, and then we'll have 2 other posts. And then, oh, look, it's a different angle of the same weaving. Yeah, but absolutely put it out there in the same way. Then put them into a slideshow in Canva. It's a new piece of content, but it's not really. So definitely retool.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
I think I'll definitely take away using the Meta Business Suite because before I definitely found myself manually going into Instagram and then Facebook. So I'll definitely try to utilize that more. And then also the idea of collaboration for organic reach. Maybe I'll kind of like send some direct messages over Instagram. And kind of try to like expand that organic reach just beyond paid ads as well.
Yeah, awesome. Direct messages are a super useful way to do that. Even with this podcast I'm promoting, it's called All Bones Considered. And so it's about the Laurel Hill Cemetery. It's about graveyards. And so I literally copied and pasted the same direct message, like, hey, we really like your account. We do a podcast that we think you might like. How about follow for follow? and we generated, sometimes people don't answer you. But if you're copying and pasting, the risk is very low. And a lot of times they'd be like, yeah, how about we'll share your post to our story if you share ours. Which is just great, is that element of community and reciprocity that it already exists. Their reality is everybody is on here trying to do the same thing you are. So why
Mhm.
not help each other?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yay. All right. I will stop the recording.
Okay.